What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Austin Show. Today we're looking at the DC Multiverse Batman Dark Knight Returns wave. So we have this cool wave with 4 figures that has the Build-A-Figure of a horse, which you can see like the horse head here. Just really cool that it's going to come with this awesome horse. But we have, of course, figures from that classic The Dark Knight Returns storyline where we have Batman in his older age, where he's thicker and everything, which is fun, as well as the Joker in like an all-white suit, which is pretty cool. As well as we also get the new Robin of Carrie Kelly, which is pretty cool that we have the girl version of Robin, as well as the Superman that appears in the storyline. And of course, throughout you can see all the body parts there for the horse. So it's going to be pretty cool to have that horse, and maybe to throw Batman on it will be pretty cool. But I'm super excited for this, mostly for the horse. The figures I don't care too much about. Like, I like the storyline, but for the figures, I don't like the way they look too much. But the horse is what sold us on this line. So I'm excited to get it open and put that horse together, because that'll be super cool. So let me get them open. We'll take a look at it together. Well, let's start off with Batman. Of course, this is Bruce Wayne, but from Earth -31, so it's just a different universe version of Batman. And Dark Knight Returns was released in 1986, of course, done by Frank Miller. And this is set 10 years after Batman hung up the cape following the death of Jason Todd, and the gang of mutants is wreaking havoc on Gotham City. So Bruce decides to redon the mantle of Batman to help save Gotham. And so this is supposed to be, 10 years later, where he's kind of let himself go and out of shape, although like here he still has a six-pack abs, but the rest of his body's all big and bulky, and of course just that classic Frank Miller artwork. But overall looks pretty cool. It looks like Batman, just like a bigger, fatter, I guess you'd say more muscular version, just with the way this is designed, just like a chunkier, thicker version of him. But he has, of course, the classic cowl and cape there in the all black. You can see his older man face there, like he's having some issues. The big chunky Batman logo on his chest, and the all gray spandex, so the gray there on his chest, as well as running down his legs with black underwear with the utility belt, black gauntlets there on his hands, even with the spikes, and then the black boots on his feet. And we can go and look at the cape there in the back as well. So I like the cutouts of the cape as well, and like the layers of it. You can see the like different layers folded up on top of it. So just another version of Batman once again, but a pretty cool one, and again a classic from that comic storyline. So let's go and do his movement. So his head can twist all the way around, and he can look down that far and up that far. So a little bit of stiffness in the neck, so it's hard to get some movements, but not too bad overall for joints. The shoulders can come up to 90, has that butterfly style joint there, and rotate all the way around. We get the single elbow joint, which again kind of stiff there, can bend to 90 with the rotation, as well as the wrist can twist around and flex, of course, on the ball joint wherever the line is. So it looks like up and down for this one. And then we get the ab crunch in the middle, so you can see that separation there. And again, he's kind of twisted off this side, so it's an issue I've been having with like McFarlane's, where they're sort of like twisted to the side a little bit. So I try to straighten them up, but they just kind of pop right back. But he can crunch back and forth very little, so I don't know if it's just stuck in here or what, but I have issues trying to get him to crunch at all. But I can get him to twist. It is kind of difficult, but it can twist in there. And then we have the lower ab crunch and twist, so crunchy back and forth. Again, not much, but it is there, and then can twist there as well. And then we have the hips that can come up that far, so under 90, maybe like 45 degrees out to the side that far. Have the thigh twist all the way around, which is different for the McFarlanes. They don't usually have the thigh twist. It's kind of nice that he has that. A double knee joint that can bend up that far to the back. And then we get the foot that can flex back and forth. A little bit stiff here again on the ball joint, so it can flex back and forth, twist side to side, and then has the toe joint on the end. So definitely not the best figure ever, especially in terms of movements, but it is supposed to be an older, out of shape version of Batman. So it makes sense that we'd have issues moving. But still, like I said, unfortunately, it's not the best version of Batman ever. Of course, from the storyline, we see Batman later on in a form we've already had before. So I can go and bring in the armored version of Batman. So we have here, he's a little bit taller. So let's move it there so you can see the armored version of Batman. And we got the one from the comic and stuff. So it's more of that blue color armor. Of course, this is supposed to be the same Batman, just him before he puts on the armor, and then him in the armor to fight Superman later. So pretty cool for this Batman. Like I said, I like the thickness and chunkiness of it and everything. I just wish the movements were a little bit better and easy to get to. And for his accessories, we get an additional set of hands. So we have a set of fist hands, since he has like grip hands on there. And then we also get a rope with like a batarang or a bat grapple sort of thing here. So we have this rope design and stuff. So let's try and put this into his hand. So there I got the rope and grapple into his hands, and that looks pretty cool there overall. And of course we do also get the card, so there is the Batman, of course, all posed up like that with the artwork into the back, so it looks really cool there from Dark Knight Returns. And on the back, of course, Bruce Wayne, and then tells the story pretty much the same thing as Bruce Wayne, but it says at the bottom, now 10 years later in retirement, Batman returns, of course. So don't really need to read too much, but pretty awesome card to go along there with the Batman, which is overall really cool. And of course, once we get that horse built at the end, we'll be able to throw him on there as well. So pretty cool for this Batman, and we'll have to see him again with that horse. And next we of course have Batman's arch nemesis of the Joker, which has spent 10 years in a catatonic stupor in Arkham Asylum. But once he hears Batman is back, he comes out of his stupor and he manipulates a psychiatrist into declaring him cured. And he goes on a talk show to talk about it, and he ends up killing all the guests and everyone on the show live on TV. So of course Joker is back to his old stuff. So this is a weird version of Joker. So again, just like Batman, he's all big and chunkier and stuff. So it's hard to tell whether it's just fatter or just the art design. But there's a look at his face. So it still has like similar Joker design with the big teeth and red smile, all white face and the green hair. It's got like that nice cut design. So pretty nice just with that face design overall. But then he's in an all white outfit, I assume to show, you know, he's like all cleaned up and nice now, but still has the purple shirt underneath. And you can see the like even sleeve sort of sticking out there with the white hands. And then going down the legs, he's got white color pants, just a little bit different sort of shade there. Going all the way down, for some reason, he has like these purple like high heel shoes on. So I know shoes, you know, kind of have some heels, like especially like men's dress shoes and stuff, but not that much of a heel. So that's just pretty weird overall, which of course being on the heels, it kind of makes him hard to stand up to, unfortunately. But just a weird version of Joker, definitely not the greatest version, but it closely matches to what he looks like in the comics. But we'll do his movements so his head can twist all the way around and he can look down that far and up. There you go, can get it up that far. So pretty decent movements in the neck. And then the shoulders can come up to 90 and rotate all the way around. We get the double elbow joint, so get a double elbow joint this time that can bend up that far, which isn't too bad. And I like how it's a big and chunky elbow there. And then the wrist can twist around and flex on the ball again. And I'm sure he has like an ab crunch or something in the middle, but with the Jackie you don't really get too much, so just rock a little back and forth and can twist around at the waist. Hips can come up that far, so close to 90, out to the side that far. A little bit of a thigh twist in there as well. A single knee joint that can bend to the back and then has a little bit of rotation in it as well. It's hard to rotate though. And then we have his foot on the ball joint, so it can flex back and forth, twist side to side a little bit there, and has the toe joint on the end. So this Joker's okay, you know, has a little bit better movements than the Batman, but still just overall the look and everything, this has never been my favorite version of the Joker. But for accessories, we get some additional hands, so we get like this open sort of hand since he has a fist hand on left. So we get that hand as well as a knife. So of course we can't have any guns or anything with the McFarlane, so we have a knife here that we can stick in his hand. But once again, it's a big chunky knife. Like they make their weapons way too thick, but let's put this in his hand. So there I got the knife in his hand, which is really difficult because they make the hands really stiff, so it's hard to get any weapons in their hands. And then this knife is just super soft and rubbery, so trying to get the soft weapon into his stiff hand was really difficult, but I finally got it in there. And of course with him we also get the card here, so we have a picture of the Joker, and I like the ha-has there in the background with our Batman. So that's pretty cool. And around on the back, of course, name is unknown, and then just all the normal Joker stuff. But here at the end it talks about the stuff related to the Dark Knight Returns. So once again, a cool looking card and a pretty decent figure. Like I said, definitely not my favorite version of Joker. This is one I don't like too much, but it does match the story, so I guess it is what it is. And then we've got our new version of Robin, which is the female version of Carrie Kelly, and she was saved from the mutants by the returning Batman, who got herself a Robin costume and decided to help out Batman, so he brought her on as the new Robin. So of course has like the classic Robin design, so it just looks like that, like I said, classic Robin, so exactly how Robin has always looked, with the red outfit in the middle, so almost like the tunic design, of course the belt with the yellow designs and the yellow R for Robin, with the green underneath, so we have the green sleeves and the green gloves, green underwear, and then the green little Peter Pan shoes on her feet. So that with the yellow cape, so the yellow cape and collar piece there around her neck going to the yellow cape in the back. And then she has her hairstyle, so it's like the red hair, but it's all like poofy and everything here in the front, with the glasses that she wears, so the weird style of glasses that are very much 80s and futurist. So very cool design overall. She is a little bit hard to get to stand up, unfortunately, and she is really small, so I'll bring in Batman so you can see how big she is. But it's a pretty decent looking figure, but it's just, if you like the Carrie Kelly vision, this is perfect for you. But let's go and do the moves. Head can twist all the way around, and she can look down that far and up that far, so best neck movement so far. Her shoulders, which are a little bit stiff, can come up to 90 there, has like that butterfly joint there. It doesn't really do too much, but it's there, and can rotate all the way around as well. We get a bicep twist, which is pretty cool, right at the end of the sleeves, and the double elbow joint that can bend up at least that far, could bend even more, but the sleeves and gloves are hitting each other. And then the wrist can twist around and flex on the ball joint. And again, I'm sure there's like a crunch under the outfit, but can't see it, but it can twist around as well. Her hips can come up close to 90, out to the side, can do the splits, a little bit of a thigh twist in there, double knee joint, which again is going to be hard because of the cape, can bend up this far to the back so she can kick her own butt. And then the foot on the ball joint can flex back and forth, twist a little side to side, and then has the toe joint on the end. So as I said, for her, I do have some issues getting her to stand up just because she has such small feet, and then the cape in the back. So of course we do have the bases that come with every figure, so we've had them with the past, just don't really need them for them, but with her I kind of really need it, so I'll just go and pop her on there. And for weapons, she comes with her slingshot, so kind of like her signature weapons that she helps with Batman. So we have the slingshot here, which is pretty cool. So let's put this in our hand. So there she is with the slingshot, so that is pretty cool. So this unfortunately isn't like the greatest figure ever or anything, and of course has that Carrie Kelly look with the very skimpy outfit and all that. But for the look it's supposed to carry off from the comics, they did a really good job. And then of course we have the picture there, and then we have her sort of story there being from Carrie Kelly. So it is a little bit different, but still pretty similar to all the other Robins and everything. So that's her story. And as I said, we'll go and bring in Batman here so you can see the size difference. So just how big Batman is compared to her and how tiny she is. So pretty cool to get this smaller Carrie Kelly version of Robin. And our final figure, the Wave, is Superman, which again looks like it does in the comics where he's bigger, thicker, and chunkier and everything as well. But a sort of weird face design, but again matches up with the comics. But in the story we see that the government sends him in to apprehend Batman for embarrassing them with their restoration of Gotham. And then he and Batman face off against each other with Batman in his armored bat suit until Oliver Queen comes in and shoots Superman with a kryptonite arrow, allowing Batman to win. But of course then Batman ends up having a heart attack. So Superman, I guess, technically wins, but not before he gets beat by Batman. So that's a pretty cool part of the story, and of course one of like our first big Batman versus Superman things. But this is a pretty nice figure with Superman. It has that classic Superman look once again, so the blue spandex with the red underwear, yellow belt, red S on his chest, and the red cape in the back. So overall looks pretty cool, and of course has the curl on the top of his head, but has that Frank Miller artwork, so it's the weird face design and the bigger, thicker, and chunkier body and face and everything. So overall just looks pretty cool, but just pretty much like Superman, so the face is the only thing that's really off about this. But for Moons to get the head that can twist there all the way around, a little bit stiff, causing some issues. We can look down that far and up that far, so not too bad in movements. Shoulders can come up to 90, has that butterfly joint and rotate all the way around. We get the single elbow joint that bends to 90 with some rotation in it. And then the wrist can twist around and flex on the ball. We have the ab crunch where you can see the separation, so crunch forward and crunch back mostly on this, so crunching there and twist all the way around, as well as the waist. So if I can get it separated here, we can twist around at the waist, and I'm sure, yeah, there's some crunching there as well. The hips can come up to 90, out to the side that far, can do the splits, a little bit of a thigh twist as well, a double knee joint that's a little bit stiff but can bend up that far to the back, so not bad. And then the foot can flex back and forth a little bit and twist side to side with the toe joint on the end. So overall, I do like this Superman. Like I said, just the face is a little bit awkward. It's the only thing I wish could be changed about it. But for accessories, he comes with the additional hands, so some open sort of hands. And then we also get the card, of course, so there's him in a nice cool pose there. Again, of course, Kal-El. And then the whole story of Superman until it gets down towards the stuff related to the Dark Knight storyline. So once again, a nice figure that I actually like pretty well. It's probably like one of my favorite figures out of this wave. So that is pretty cool. And of course, we can bring in that armored Batman once again, so they can have the face off against each other of Batman versus Superman. So that's pretty cool to have that there too for them. And finally, that leads to the Build-A-Figure of a horse. So here is the horse that we get. Again, it's part of this comic storyline where Batman rides around on a horse. So we get this black horse that looks pretty cool. It's a different design, pretty weird with like the Build-A-Figure, so the way it's built and everything. But it has a nice brown saddle with like the leather designs. They put a lot of detail on that, as well as the reins coming to the back and all the bridle and everything around its head. So pretty cool horse design just overall. I don't know how well it'll be. There's some issues like with the getting to stand up, and the legs are a little bit, like if you see the front legs are sort of like bent in quite a bit. So it may have some issues, like if we put a figure on this, it may not stand very well, but we'll just have to see. But for the movements, get the head that looks like it can rock back and forth just a little bit there and can twist a little side to side, so if you want to do that. Then we get the neck joint here that can move up and down. You can hear that. It almost sounds like a horse making noise, but you can move that. And then in the front, we have the legs that can move back and forth a little bit. They are really stiff, so I don't know how well I can use it. There you can see it move like at the shoulder joint, I guess, so move back and forth there, as well as like a knee joint, so it can bend back and forth with some rotation in the lower parts. And same down for the ankles, so the ankles can move back and forth there and rotate around. So you have to get a lot of adjustments in here just to be able to help get the horse to stand up. And then similar to the back as well, so get the legs that move back and forth. We have the like knee joint that can move back and forth with some rotation in it, and then the lower ankle joint as well, so it can rock back and forth, twist side to side around as well, leading to our tail that can move up and down and twist side to side. So it's a pretty nice design, just not the best made horse there's ever been, so you can probably find better versions, but it's pretty cool that it comes with this story and stuff, that we got to build a figure of a horse. But now that we have a horse, let's go ahead and try and put Batman on it to see how well he'll even fit on here. So there's about the best I can get Batman on. I thought with like the twist in his thighs, it would help be able to get like his feet into the stirrups, but unfortunately that didn't even work out too well, so he's just kind of sitting on there. It doesn't look horrible like at certain positions, but I don't think it's still the best. I think they should have done some more work to be able to get this even to work out, but still looks pretty cool there with Batman up on the horse like he rides in the comic. Well, that is going to be it for this McFarlane DC Multiverse Batman Dark Knight Returns wave, where we got Batman, Joker, Carrie Kelly Robin, and Superman here, all from the Dark Knight Returns storyline, which is pretty cool with that Build-A-Figure of the horse. So all these figures are pretty decent. They're not the greatest things ever. I do have a lot of issues with them and just some like nitpicks and stuff as usual with the McFarlanes that are really annoying me. And then just the overall design with the horse and trying to get Batman on it didn't work out. So it's like, what's the point of even doing that if he doesn't fit? It's like they should be designing the figure to fit to the horse, or the horse to be able to fit the figure exactly, not just take a thing, oh, we already have an existing figure, just pop it on a horse and it'll fit when it doesn't. So that's just really annoying about this. But let me know what you thought of these figures down in the comments, and especially if you have them for yourself, what are your thoughts of them? And if you enjoyed my review, let me know with the thumbs up. But I want to thank you all for watching. I hope you all stay awesome out there, and I'll see you in our next review.